Hey guys, welcome back to my page. So I thought I'd do this quick video. I'm trying to make it quick anyway. On a topic that I think is very beneficial to a lot of people, especially ending 2017 and going into a new year on a positive, strong note, because I know a lot of us have been through some things in 2017, myself included. So I thought that I will create a video on how to end 2017 on a positive note. And I think that for a lot of people, it sounds like it's something difficult. It sounds like something that maybe is out of reach, or that, I don't know, maybe it's something that people feel like they can't do right, they can't achieve. But I feel like everyone watching this video has the ability to end 2017 on a positive note, and I'm going to tell you how. These are just some things that have came across my mind recently over the past few weeks. I've been noticing some things on social media, some things that you guys have posted, just looking at, in general society and some things that people are going through, right? Like a lot of things don't really change year to year. Most people struggle with relationships. They struggle with, bad eating. They struggle with a lot of things that they would rather not have to deal with, but they have to deal with anyway. They're dealing with. So I felt like this is my gift to you guys. This is my way of giving back and just kind of pouring out my knowledge and what I know. And, just kind of my insight on how we could make it through the rest of this year and not only just make it, but end it very strong and go into 2018 even stronger. So I'm going to go ahead and get right into it because I have some things that I want to share with you guys. First of all, I would say that we need to detox because there are some things, people included, that we are holding on and we've been holding on to for a while that mean us absolutely no good. Absolutely no good, right? And here are some of those things. So we have bad friendships, bad relationships. And what I mean by bad is toxic, right? You know that you and this person, it doesn't matter if it's a close partner or if it's a so-called friend that you've been, hanging around, it's a coworker, whatever the tie is, it's a toxic relationship that is not doing you any good. Now, I'm not here to say, okay, just get rid of all of your friendships, all of your relationships, just cut ties with everyone. No, but I do feel like there's some people that just don't need to be involved in your life, right? There's always that one person or maybe two people that, sorry, you guys, when I want to do a live video, I get notifications. But it's always that person or that relationship that is draining you, right? That is sometimes we're not aware. Sometimes I think we don't take the time to kind of evaluate different parts of our life to see what is really taking a toll in our life and what's impacting our life and how it's impacting our life. But the one of the most obvious things, and I can definitely see it just by looking at a lot of the posts that I've been seeing on Facebook, is toxic relationships. And you have people that will get on social media and complain and, bitch and moan about this person, their boyfriend, their girlfriend, their partner. And I feel like, okay, first of all, social media isn't the best place to complain and to share your personal issues, on social media, right? It's not the best place to go to do that. But, I mean, it tells us a lot, right? And me, of course, being a researcher, I'm studying to become a clinical psychologist. Like, I'm always observing things. And that's one of the biggest things that I've noticed on social media, that people get on social media just to talk about other people, just to talk about the people in their lives that they're not satisfied with, that they're tired of dealing with, that absolutely mean them no good. And so that's what this video is going to talk about. That's what we're talking about in this video. Get rid of those bad relationships. Like I said, sometimes, it's not that you have to cut them off completely, so to speak. But looking at the relationship itself, sometimes you have to do an evaluation and see, what is this relationship bringing me, right? Weigh the pros, weigh the cons. What is this person doing for you in your life? What does this person mean to you? Because sometimes we place a lot or too much value on a person, we place more value on them than what they placed on you. So you may hold a person very close to your heart, but that person, on the other hand, you're not close to that person's heart. You're nowhere near that person's heart, right? Because we know that there are different levels, different positions in which we can hold a person. A person can be in our lives. So a person can be very close to our heart, where they mean a lot to us. We invest a lot of time and energy into that person. Or we can hold a person, at an arm's distance. Or we can just not even speak to a person altogether, right? Or off and on. But I think the biggest issue when it comes to people's health, overall health, right, mental health specifically, in relation to their relationships, the biggest issue is that people oftentimes hold or position people in their lives in the wrong place. So I think it's important to look at the people, number one, who are in your life and see what is their position in your life. Where have you placed this person in your life? Are they close to your heart? Do they have access to the deeper parts of your being, like your feelings, your emotions, your passions? Are they that connected to you? Or do they only have a surface level connection, where you kind of talk to them here and there, you chit chat, but nothing too deep, nothing too personal? I think that's where we make the biggest mistake a lot of times, by placing the wrong people too close to our hearts. So I would definitely want to encourage anyone who's watching this video that in ending 2017 and going into 2018 to do a relationship evaluation. Even if you have to take out a pen and paper and write down the people in your life who mean the most to you, who you've placed significance upon. And it takes some time to evaluate where that person is at in your life. Where have you placed them? Oftentimes we're just in the wrong place. We're spending way too much time. Time is an investment, right? And if you spend more time, you value this person more than they value you. You've invested more time into this person than they have even attempted to invest in you. Then that is a relationship that you need to reevaluate. That's a relationship that maybe you need to end. That maybe doesn't mean you any good going into 2018. This video is going to help somebody, because I know there are a lot of people watching this video who have a lot of friends or associates, partners, or someone close they're dealing with, and that person is draining the life out of you. Those relationships are draining the life out of you. So sometimes I think, people, oftentimes we're social beings, right? We need to be connected to other people. We need to feel love, right? We need attention. But in needing social interaction, right, in needing love and needing attention, I think it's important that we pay very close attention to who we invite into our lives. Because yes, love and affection is important, but it matters who you get that love and affection from. Not everyone is capable of loving you the way that you want to be loved, or treating you the way that you should be treated, in terms of a friendship or a close relationship, even a business relationship, right? Not everyone has the same value that you have. So that's important. I think it's always important to constantly, if it's every month or every week, just pay close attention to and evaluate your relationships. Evaluate the people that you have in your inner circle to see how they are impacting your life. In what way are they impacting your life? Are they causing you a lot of stress? Are they stressing you the freak out? is it even worth it? What is your investment in this relationship? You find yourself with a partner, let's say, it's a dating relationship, right? And you do an evaluation on their relationship, and you see that this person is causing you so much heartache and so much pain. You have to come to a decision. You have to come to a point where you ask yourself and be honest. You have to be honest. And sometimes it's a very painful decision in a very painful evaluation that you have to make, but you have to do it. And I feel like the end of the year sometimes is the best time to do it. People make fun of people who make New Year's resolutions, but it can be very effective, especially if you really keep track of things and you really take it very seriously. That's what this video is about. We're doing an evaluation of different facets of our lives in 2017 to see what needs to change, because you don't want to go into a whole new year with the same issues that you've been experiencing in 2017, right? You want to let those things go. Leave them back in 2017. It means you absolutely no good. And so it's worth taking an hour out of your day, some time out of your day, just to look at your relationships. Take some time, even if it's just one relationship, that's good, because you can focus on that one relationship that means the most to you and really ask yourself, is it worth it? What are you gaining? A lot of times we have this idea, like we have this, I don't know, we imagine what we want in a relationship, right? Or from a person. And we assume that we have so much hope that a person is going to be able to deliver whatever it is that we want, in terms of that from that person in a relationship. And that person will never be able to deliver that. That's just not who they are. So we set these false expectations on a person that they're never going to be able to deliver in a relationship. So that, I think, is the most important, like, relationships. Alongside, the whole thing about getting rid of toxic relationships, is also looking at ways you can build positive relationships with people. Because it's not always about getting rid of the bad, but you want to nurture and create positive friendships with people, like-minded people. They don't necessarily have to agree with everything that you say or that everything you do, but you definitely want to make sure this person has common values. Because in my experience with relationships, I feel that is the most important thing. There are things that I value. Everyone has values in a relationship, right? In terms of relationships. And you want to make sure that whoever you invite into your inner circle has the same values and respects your values. That is so important, because down the road, if not, all you're going to end up running into is just a person that you're going to end up bumping heads with. You guys are going to have disagreements, because your values are not the same. And not only that, people can have the same values, but in terms of respecting those values, that's where the issue comes in. So I can talk about unhealthy relationships for days, but the next thing I would like to talk to you guys briefly about is unhealthy food, and I think that we all are guilty of it, right? It's very rare that you find someone who eats 100% healthy, food all the time. Even vegetarians and vegans, like, they make mistakes, right? They don't always eat healthy all the time, so to speak. So I feel like, for me personally, that's like definitely a goal that I want to work on in terms of what I put into my body, the types of food that, I spend my money on. Because a lot of times, just because, like, I think, I'm guilty of this, like, you have the money, of course, to buy whatever kind of food I want to buy, and then you just end up wasting it, right, on unnecessary food. So I want to make sure that I'm more careful. This is more of a personal goal for myself, and I know it's beneficial for you guys to hear this. It's just that it's important that we make sure and we are careful what we put into our bodies. Healthy food, And I think it's so much information out there that's floating around about what's healthy, what's not healthy. And sometimes you just don't know. Not everything that's vegan, I feel like, is healthy. or whatever, because even vegan foods can be processed, right, and have the same type of junk that so-called non-vegan foods have. So you definitely want to be careful about this whole getting on the whole vegan wave, because like everybody wants to be a vegan all of a sudden, so to speak, but not. I feel like not all vegan foods are healthy. So I would say just keep it old school. Just take it back to how it used to be back in the day. I feel like, God made meat, God made everything good for people to eat. It's just in terms of how that food is handled, how it is processed. And a lot of times, when we get it in the store and we go buy it from the store and we bring it home, a lot of times it's not the best. So I feel like that's why people kind of jump on the vegan thing, because they assume it's organic. But like I said, not all vegan foods are organic. So that's definitely something to take mind of. Drugs and alcohol. Detox from drugs and alcohol. I know a lot of people, use recreational drugs. A lot of people smoke. A lot of people drink alcohol. But I feel like that's important, because I know a lot of people who are watching this video are actually entrepreneurs and business owners. And so when it comes to managing a business, definitely, even having a job, a 9-to-5 job, right? Productivity is one of those most important things that comes to mind. So definitely as a business owner, because it's your money that is on the line, essentially. So when it comes to managing a business, you want to make sure that you are the most productive. And in doing so, you have to, I feel like it's what's most important, that you have a clear mind, you have a clear head, you're focused, you have the energy you need to conduct business as you need to. And, while drugs and alcohol can be fun and cool, it's not necessarily cool if it's impacting your business. And it's impacting your profits and your ability to be more productive in your business. So that's definitely, I think, something on the list. Too much spending kind of goes with that, because, people spend a lot of money, myself included. I found that I've spent a lot of money on certain things in 2017 that I know I'm not going to bring into 2018. Definitely when it comes to food, spending money on food, I'm like, oh no, oh no, I gotta cut it. So definitely with that, I'm definitely gonna have to change that. But I want to hear from you guys too. If there are some things that you want to change in 2017 going to 2018, feel free to comment below. Social media, that takes us to the next one. Social media, I feel like, we all use it for different reasons. Myself, I use it for business, of course, but I know a lot of us kind of use it just for fun, right? And even myself, sometimes, I get bored. I may go on there and just do whatever, read some posts and share some posts. But I feel like, social media can get the best of us, right? And it can take a lot of our time. Like, it's very time consuming. And if there's anything that is a thief to a person's success and that can be an impediment to getting in the way of achieving their dreams, is time, losing time, wasting time. And one of my colleagues mentioned this, right? Like he said, if people were to actually take a diary, a log of how much time they spend on social media, a lot of us probably would see that we spend like hours, 7, 8 hours on social media. And if you're spending that amount of time on social media, like, how can you be productive? Especially as a business owner, that can be time invested doing something else, for your business, or doing something else, for your own personal growth. So I feel like just keeping track of how much time, we spend on social media. And these things that I've mentioned in terms of, detoxing from bad relationships, unhealthy food, drugs and alcohol, too much spending, and social media. I mean, some things you can quit cold turkey, right? But I think, if anything, it's about moderation and how much we do these things. And then the last thing that I want to touch upon is ratchet television. Now, I'm not here to tell you guys what you should and shouldn't do. Everybody has a right to choose what they want to watch, what they, what's meaningful to them, what's beneficial to them, and what's not. But I've just noticed that, a lot of things on television, and I don't know. Hopefully, what I'm about to say can help some of you guys, because me personally, I don't watch TV. Like, I don't even have cable, and I find it interesting that, people spend a lot of money on cable, but that's their business. That's their business. Everybody has their own personal, choices, right, that they make. But the things that come on television, I feel like a lot of this stuff is just garbage, right? And people watch hours and hours of ratchet television. I feel like what we take into our bodies, it becomes who we are, right? We end up becoming what we consume, what we watch on television. If we watch a lot of garbage, we watch a lot of, shows where they have men disrespecting women, women disrespecting men, it's like, okay, then you wonder why you have issues in your relationship. You wonder why you have problems in your life. It's because what you consume on television. You watch hours a day, like 3-4 hours a day of ratchet television, and you consuming this, and it's entertainment, right? I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not like it's not entertaining or funny. It definitely is, but you have to realize the impact that it has on a person's mind, because it does have an impact on your mind. These producers spend millions of dollars making sure they can have an impact. And a lot of times, their intentions aren't necessarily good. So I think it's just important. Like, these are all tips that I know you guys heard over and over and over again, but it's not going to hurt, to be repeated, right? It's not going to hurt you to hear them again, to be reminded of these things again, because I don't know, like I said, I'm not here to judge anybody, but me personally, I can do without television. So moving on along, how can we end 2017 on a more positive note? And this is my favorite part, which is setting goals. So the first part, I'll talk to you guys about some things that we all, myself included, can detox from in 2017, going into 2018. But the most important thing, I think, like I said, this is like my favorite part, is setting goals. Setting goals. And that's kind of like what this video really is about. That we have to set goals. If we have all of these high ambitions and dreams, right, that we want to achieve in 2018 and the years to come, a lot of us want to be millionaires, a lot of us want to be homeowners, all these things we want to do, travel the world, whatever it is, right? That's just a goal. In order to achieve a goal, you have to set smaller goals, because a lot of these goals are major things. They're big things. You can't just do them overnight. It takes time. It's a process. And so the thing about achieving a major goal, you have to break it down into smaller steps. And with that, you have to develop smaller goals that you can track and measure if you want to be successful at achieving those goals, whatever it is. So you can take any goal in mind that you have, whether it's losing weight, whether it is, buying a home, taking a vacation, whatever it is, you have to break it down to smaller steps. And those steps should be attainable steps, things that you can actually achieve, doable steps, not something that is way over the top, way far out of reach. I think sometimes we set ourselves up for failure by setting goals that are just way above our reach, right? Like, good and well, you're not going to win a marathon, like in 1 year, especially if you haven't trained. You definitely have to break it down and be more realistic about yourself. And I use a marathon example because I had a client who actually said this is like one of his goals, that he wanted to win the marathon, the New York Marathon. I'm like, dude, that's not, I didn't tell him this, but, just thinking, I'm telling you guys, that's not really an achievable goal, especially if, you haven't trained for that, you're overweight, that's just an example. But I think that, it happens more often than not, where we create these goals, we have these things in mind that we want to achieve, and it's just not realistic. So it's important that whatever goal that you set, it's realistic, it's achievable, it's attainable, and and you have an accountability partner. I mentioned that it's important to have an accountability partner because it's one thing when you believe in something yourself. It's another thing when you have one other person believing in that same thing with you. And so that kind of goes back into my earlier point that I made about bringing in people in your circle who actually mean you some good, forming positive relationships with people, like-minded people. That's so important. I think that we don't have enough of that, enough of positive relationships where that people can actually support what you do, believe in you wholeheartedly, and support what you do. They're there for you. No questions asked. They're there for you. If you don't have people in your circle who you can say that you can count on, who you can go and talk to if you have an idea, if you have an issue, you should have at least one person that you can go and talk to. This person can hold you accountable for the things that you say that you want to do, that you want to achieve. You should at least have one person. More can be good. But of course it has to be someone that you trust because not everyone, you don't want to tell just any and everybody your goals and the plans that you have. So it has to be someone you can confide in, That goes back to what I talked about earlier in the video about you cannot have everyone here, Here is close to your heart. You cannot have anyone cannot be close to your heart. So that goes into evaluating the relationships that you have with people. You have to do an evaluation on people to ask yourself. You don't just let not anybody can sit at your table. Don't let anybody sit at your table. It has to be very specific people that mean you some good, that align with your purpose, that align with your goals and your values. That is so important because if not, you're just going to run into problems down the road. So that's why I think it's important ahead of time, to check people out, to definitely check people out. But that's pretty much what all I had to talk to you guys about in this video. I do thank you guys for watching. I welcome any comments that you guys have and you want to share. I'm actually getting ready to finish my paper. I have quite a bit of assignments I have to work on. I have 2 more weeks, actually. I know I said I had 3 more weeks in the semester. This year, but I think I only have 2 more weeks, you guys, and I'll be done, with this semester, my PhD program, and it's just like I can take a small break and exhale. But these tips that I gave you guys, they're really for me because going into 2018, just now, I feel like right now I'm in a good position. I'm in a good place. Because I've already started to detox. I've already started the detox process where I've removed some people from my circle. I'm more attentive to who I'm inviting in my inner circle because, I think every stage in life, we go through certain changes. And just because a person was good for your life in 2016, don't necessarily mean they're good for your life in 2018. So that's where I think we make the mistake in thinking that, and I know you guys heard this over and over again, but not everybody is meant for long term. Some people are just in your life temporarily. And if you don't make the conscious decision, to be able to figure out who is meant to stay in your life or who is just supposed to be temporary, that can cost you. That can cost you a lot, not just time, but a lot of heartache, headache, and pain. So I think that is very important. And like I said, I'm in a very good place right now because I feel like I'm just in this transition and going into 2018 that I can just see, my future is very bright. Things are lining up for me because I have been able to detox, because I have been able to take an evaluation of people and things in my life that either mean me good or don't mean me any good. And the most important thing I feel like is that we have to be sure within ourselves to know that, to feel confident and to feel comfortable in serving people their eviction notices and saying that, hey, you have no place in my life. You have the right who you want to invite into your life. I feel like that's just the most important thing for me. You have the freedom. It's your choice. And it can make you or break, it can make your life better or it can make your life a living hell, I think, depending on who you have in your inner circle. That's so important. You got to get your team. I'm speaking to the entrepreneurs out there, you know, who are working towards something, who are building empires. Having a team of people who believe and support you is so important, you know, and I'm always evaluating my team of people who work, you know, in my inner circle, who work within my organizations. That's just so important, I feel like. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here because I'm gonna go ahead and get ready for bed. I always like talking to you guys though, so feel free to hit my inbox, and you know, if you have a topic, I'll think about, you know, talking about it. But I just kind of wanted to jump in real quick and cover this video with you guys because I know we're coming close to the end of 2017. And if there's some way that I can give back and help you guys, I'm always for it. It's funny because there's a lot going on in the world, and it's reflected on the different things we see on social media, especially with what's happening in Libya and Africa with the slave trade. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, you know, but just as an aside, you know, the world, it's a lot of things going on in the world. And sometimes I feel like we think, you know, our issues here in America, you know, is just the biggest thing that there is. But we look outside of America, we'll see that, you know, actually the things that are going on in America don't even compare to what's happening internationally and in other countries. So, you know, sometimes we have to realize, you know, in making those comparisons, how fortunate we are, you know, just to live in America and just to be alive. So I like to end, you know, this video on that note because, you know, just about staying positive and focusing on, you know, the positive, getting rid of the negative, being honest with yourself, and having, you know, the confidence and certainty within yourself to know it's okay. It's okay to get rid of the negativity in your life, even if it's bad, toxic relationships. Get rid of it, you guys, because your health is most important. So I thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys later. Love you guys. Bye-bye.